Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this one.
Welcome to Superman Rewatch, where we talk about the Stolen Memories episode, the one where Superman rushes Area 51. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
You know, I'm feeling like quite the Brainiac after watching this episode.
Yeah, so we're watching the introduction of Brainiac. And first off,
Reintroduction, I'd say, but yeah.
Reintroduction. Well, introduction in his current form, which I will have to say is kind of terrifying. But continuing, this episode starts off pretty rough because Lois Lane shows up.
Dweeb.
In the very beginning of the episode. So I'm like, what are you doing here? Brainiac,
Also,
can you vaporize her?
Okay, can I just say, it's really weird watching this in reverse because we did our Justice League rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, knowing how they ended the show, like, how long the storyline goes for.
I know,
like,
right?
Like, this is a 10-year plus storyline right here. Like, because, for those who are unaware, basically the way that Justice League Unlimited ends is the last season of Justice League Unlimited, Lex is trying to get back Brainiac, and he accidentally opens up, like, revives Darkseid. So this storyline goes from, like, when did the show premiere?
This episode premiered in 1996.
So 10 years, literally 10, because I think Unlimited ended in what, 96?
In like 2000, it would have to be 2006.
So 10 years. This is a 10-year storyline.
Wow, that is really interesting how they kept that storyline of Brainiac and Lex
Same
going.
voice actors too.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
So Brainiac shows up, and he basically says, I'm here to spread my knowledge with everyone. I'm particularly interested in this last son of Krypton that you are apparently harboring. I also like where Lex is suspicious of Brainiac, so he tells Superman, keep your enemies close, right? And then Lex goes, right, although with you, I'll make an exception.
Can I just say, I found that scene really interesting, because that's one of the few times they actually talk civilly, if you kind of look at it. Like, they're just walking through the LexCorp facility. Superman's there, it's like...
And then I also really like those little spheres of knowledge that like, Superman touches. He, like, sees Jor-El, and that's really emotional for him. But I also like how it looks like he's like... It looks all idyllic. And then you realize that this is stuff that Brainiac has blown up.
Oh, Moses, smell the roses.
Like all the other planets or stuff that like he himself has destroyed, which is homaging the idea that the way Brainiac works is he takes a city from the planet and then the planet blows up. In fact, I think in a few of the origins for Superman, they even linked the destruction of of Krypton to Brainiac taking Kandor.
Yeah, Bottle City of Kandor.
That is correct. And I will say the moment when Brainiac's body like expands and like he's getting the data downloaded, that was horrifying.
I gotta say, I really feel like Bruce Timm, like he watched Ghost in the Shell and he was like, okay, we're doing that. Because they kind of came out the same year. I think Ghost in the Shell came out like 96. And it's very similar visuals of how the like. This is like Superman goes cyberpunk in this episode. I'm just saying.
So you're saying that this was episode 2077? You're saying that maybe Bruce Timm casted Scarlett Johansson?
Why are you mixing Ghost in the Shell with cyberpunk?
No, you made a Ghost in the Shell.
I guess you could say that Superman is quite the edge runner.
No, impressed.
Nah, it's not a good one. So it's really cool to see like
Superman is really working on his standalone complex.
Yes, I really did. I like how like Lex has like practically nukes just aimed at Brainiac at all times. He goes, "I could destroy the entire county if I wanted to."
Twice.
Twice, yes, twice. And then obviously it doesn't work out. Brainiac goes self-aware. So basically, this is Superman versus the Terminator. It's Superman versus Skynet. That's kind of what that is. Yeah. Yeah. So Superman eventually defeats Brainiac, and what I like about this is also the debut of the Fortress of Solitude in the DCAU.
Also,
The
Polar Bear.
Polar Bear, yeah, exactly.
Okay. For the record, this is actually, I think it's actually because like the whole. Okay, so for those who don't know, we're referencing the documentary "The Death of Superman Lives," where apparently John Peoples wanted Superman to fight a polar bear in the Arctic.
No.
The thing is,
he didn't want him to fight polar bears. He just wanted polar bears to be Superman security guards.
I feel like this was like, what if John Peoples just saw this episode and that's where he got the idea from?
Yeah, and then we all know that like the reason why there's a shot of a polar bear in Man of Steel is an homage to that in Superman Lives.
And also in the Flash, the reason why Nicolas Cage's Superman is fighting a giant spider is an homage to that.
Yeah, and then what's kind of funny is that even though that movie got canceled, John Peters would later also go on to do Wild Wild West, where there's literally a giant mechanical spider.
That movie's actually not bad.
It's actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed that. So anyway, back to this. So a few other pieces of trivia. The truck in the beginning of the episode is patterned after the Batmobile. It can also be seen in Solar Power and Monkey Fun. So we'll see it again. The episode pays homage to the 1940s Max Fleischer Superman short, The Mad Scientist, when Superman punches Brainiac's beams in a very similar way to the way he punched the Mad Scientist beams.
Oh my god, I was wondering why that looked a little bit weird.
Yeah, exactly. But
you know how they also referenced the flight to Superman? They made Lois completely useless.
That's not that hard. That's not that hard. So the other thing that I really like about this is, you are right. It is very weird knowing where this goes. That's why it was kind of funny that when we finished JL and JLU, we're like, let's go and cover Superman, because you're going to be surprised how many plot points from Justice League and Justice League Unlimited are started here.
Yeah, like literally 10 years. This is a plot line that takes 10 years to fully play out.
Which I will give them this. I critique this universe a lot. I even did an entire episode of Super Wonder Legacy where we critiqued it for almost 3 hours. But that was good. They could do long form plot lines. That was also the like advantage of the DCAU going for so long, is that even though a lot of the episodes were like creature / villain of the week, they did do like long form stories even across the shows. But all in all, not much trivia for this episode. But by the way, Brainiac's attempting to pull Superman to his side by saying the sentiment, "I am Krypton," is repeated in the Justice League episode Twilight. And that is the one where Superman kills Darkseid. He's abducted.
I am the Senate.
So, by the way, Nick, the alien code left behind within LexCorp's computers is revealed in the machine in Brainiac's programming. I thought about that, and at first I thought that said Ghost in the Shell when I read that.
I mean, in a way, it is a ghost in a shell. But also, in Ghost in the Shell universe, your ghost is your soul. So, and if this code is Brainiac's soul, his ghost is in a shell.
Nerd. Brainiac uses a space sled for the first time in this episode. So Brainiac really likes a winter wonderland, is what you're telling me. And yet he shows up in the desert.
But the Brainiac digs think it's in the desert.
Lex Luthor states to the government about the possibilities that Brainiac could offer, one of them being a cure for cancer. This turns out to be true when it's revealed that Brainiac was the one who cured Lex Luthor's cancer in the Justice League Unlimited episode, Question Authority and Divided We Fall. Another plot point brought to completion in Justice League.
I don't know if like they were like planning that or just a happy accident, but still.
Yeah, I'm like that actually worked out really well. So all in all, this is a great episode. I would rate it a solid 9 out of 10. It's nothing really like stupendous to write home about. There's one I'm saving for a 10 out of 10 that's coming later.
You're learning, sir.
Yes, exactly. But it like this way, this was a solid episode. It's nothing special. How about you, Nick?
Well, you're nothing special, but anyway. I give this a 9 out of 10 as well. An exceptionally done episode. Certainly cut above the rest.
Mm-hmm. So, on that note, everyone, I think that's a good place to leave it. How would you rate this episode? In what ways does Nick have bad taste when it comes to Superman content? But stay heroic.
You literally gave it the same rating.
Stay heroic, everyone. And we'll be Lois Lane is Lois Lame and useless. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe is the Max of